This is what I looked like a year ago. This is what I looked like 8 months ago. And this is what I look like today. The original methods I used to get lean were unsustainable, and honestly, they were flat out garbage. For example,
1,000 calories full day of eating. Let's get right into it.
anyways, today is my last day of cutting weight, and in this video, I will try to help you if you are looking to cut weight as well. Now, when we're talking about losing weight, what we're talking about most of the time is losing as much fat mass as possible while keeping as much muscle mass as possible. There's so many different ways you could go about losing that weight, some of which are good, some of which maybe not so good. But the number one most simple and effective way to achieve this kind of body recomposition is through a caloric deficit and through exercising, both strength training and cardiovascular training. But the question always is, how do you know when you're in a deficit?
Just eat less.
You fatty, or like yes, but at the same time, no. Like I said before, there are many different ways to get yourself into a calorie deficit. There are two very common ones. One is very simple and easier to do, but is less accurate, and the other is a lot more time consuming, but is much more accurate. The more simple and easier way is to take note of the foods you're eating every day throughout the course of an entire week and see how much your weight has changed on the scale. Like, let's say maybe you gained a little, maybe you lost a little, and then adjust accordingly. But when you're doing it in this way, you also have to make sure that you're eating a lot of meat and protein sources, because if you're not tracking how much you're eating, you have no idea how much protein you're getting in. You're kind of just guessing a lot, right? So if you do it like this, yes, it's easier and it's faster and you don't have to do that much, but you also have to prioritize eating a lot of meat or whey protein or dairy products that have protein in it. But yeah, this method is very simple. If you, after a week, notice that the scale's going up, okay, let me cut back on some of the foods I'm eating, see where I'm eating a lot of fats or a lot of unnecessary carbs that I don't need, and just cut those back a little bit. But at the same time, if you're also losing weight a little too fast, you shouldn't be hesitant to eat a little more. Like, the food will not bite back. Just make sure you're eating enough. Because if you lose weight too fast, that also increases the chance that you will be losing more muscle mass instead of just the fat mass, which we're ultimately trying to get rid of. This method really does not take that much time. It's less about like tracking and more about being aware of what you're eating and trying to eat slightly smarter, right? So let's say you get 4 triple cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Maybe next week you only get 2 triple cheeseburgers, and then like a whey protein shake or something like that. That was a terrible analogy, but I think you get what I mean. And with this method, the results are going to be a lot more inconsistent than if you use the next one, which is to track your calories, track everything. You have your food scale and you weigh out how much of everything that you're eating and take note of it. And then at the end of the week, you see how much your weight has changed. If you lost too much weight, add some of those calories back in. If you gained weight, all right, like let's lower those calories then. And this is a lot more methodical approach because you kind of have data to work with, whereas the other one, you're guessing for the most bit. Especially if you're eating out a lot, you're guessing how many calories, what the macros are of the food that you're eating. So with this one, it's a lot more direct and you can make adjustments as you need to. This method is a non-negotiable if you're competing in bodybuilding, but the issue with this one is it's a lot more time consuming. And let's say for like the average lifter who's just lifting to improve their health or maybe get a slightly better physique, you're very busy, you're working full time, you don't have a lot of time to focus on your diet and exercise. This might be a lot more difficult. Obviously, this is what I do. I track about 90% of the meals I eat in both their calories and their macronutrients, so carbs, fat, and protein, just so I can kind of manipulate my diet to fit the kind of physique I want at the time. So, like I said before, this is my last day of cutting, and soon after I'm gonna be bulking. So I kind of already know how much I need to change my diet in terms of macronutrients to be able to go on this nice slow bulk that I want. Now, no matter what you do, it's important that you are participating in both resistance training and in cardiovascular training, as well as keeping some degree of an eye on what foods you're eating so that you can kind of retain and in some cases put on muscle mass while losing that undesired body fat. Now, the main thing that trips a lot of people up is not doing it once or twice or for a week. It's consistently putting in this kind of daily effort in order to make sustainable progress over time, because that's the main challenge when it comes to weight loss, is being able to day after day after day keep putting in the same amount of effort to your physique that you'll see notable changes. Achieving body recomp is definitely very simple, but it's definitely not easy, because that kind of dedication you have to put in can be very taxing over time, especially if you're doing it for a while. It's not very glamorous, but if you put in the work over time, you will definitely see results. It's almost guaranteed. And there's so much more that goes into how to get a good body recomposition going, but this is like a very broad, very general opener. And what I would suggest is that one habit you pick up every day, even if you can't control your meals or your training, is to weigh yourself every day in the morning, because that's a visual reminder of where you're at, and it'll help you figure out where you want to go. But yeah, I hope this video helped a little bit, maybe slightly, potentially. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you guys the best if you're on a weight loss journey yourself. Thank you.